Hi guys, my name is Anton Humala, and in this video I'll show you how I set up my Sony a7s Mark II for filmmaking, as well as what functions I assign to my custom buttons and how I customized my function menu, with the hope it will give you some ideas of how to manage the menus of this camera so you feel yourself comfortable while operating this camera and your brain is less taken up by camera menus and more concerned with artistic and creative demands of the project. Before we start, just keep in mind that these settings focuses entirely on video, so if you do some photography, you may be happy with different settings. As you probably know, Sony camera menus are quite sophisticated and hard to deal with, but on the bright side we have 4 custom buttons, 2 on top, 1 and 2, and 2 on the back side, 3 and 4, as well as main dial ring with 2 slots of memory, 1 and 2. And what is more important, we have a customizable pop-up menu, which is launched by a dedicated hardware button function menu, which gives you 12 slots. Each of them can be assigned to one of 36 functions. And of course we have 3 dials, one here, and another one here. Let's go to the menu. Press menu button, and the first menu, which is labeled as a little camera, page 1. These settings you see here, they related more to photography, so I leave it as you see them, and go to the second page. Yes, here we are with video settings, file format, record settings, etc. What I want you to know is that once you've chosen one option over another, for example XAVC 4K or XAVC HD, it grayed out other possibilities in the menu. For example, if you choose XAVC 4K, this camera isn't capable to record slow motion in 4K. The maximum is 30 frames per second. So when you hit record settings, you see 30p with 100 megabits bit rate. So there is no slow motion in 4K. So once you've chosen XAVC HD and you go to record settings, you can see here 120, 60p, and all the options. So there is one thing in particular I want to notice, that you have the option to choose 120p or only in NTSC format. So in PAL format, you have the option to choose 100p. So how to choose to NTSC? It's really simple. You go to Toolbox menu, which is the last one, sorry, and go to the third page, NTSC PAL selector. It asks me change to PAL, reboots after change is made. One thing to be aware of, once you choose NTSC or PAL, you have to stick with it, because if you try to switch between them, you have to reboot, and you have to switch your cards, because the camera will ask you to format your card. So it's one big thing to be aware of. And I choose cancel. If I want to switch to PAL, I choose enter. Okay, let's go back to the first menu, second page, and I choose, for example, 24p, and again 24p appears on the menu only in NTSC. And about bitrate, for example, you have 120p 100 megabits and 120p 60 megabits per second, and of course you always want to choose the highest bitrate. Dual video recording, the next one. It allows you, whether on or off, to record smaller file alongside with bigger ones, maybe to have proxies on your recording. So I choose it when I have to. HFR, high frame rate settings. I always choose not to do them because in the camera, because what this option does for you is that allows you to conform your high frame rate files in camera to see them as actual slow motion files, and it can speed up your editing process, but it limits bitrate of slow motion files to, I think, 12 or 16 megabits per second. It isn't enough. Drive mode and bracket settings, I leave it at default. Third page, it has to do with photo settings. I don't bother changing them. The fourth one, what is interesting here, is ISO. ISO you can, and exposure step. You can go to 1/3 of exposure value or half of exposure value. It has to do with the accuracy. You change your exposure. For example, if you go from an aperture, let's say, I have here 1.4, a very bright lens here, and I want to go, I want to go to the next 2.0. I have 3 steps: 2.0, 1.7, 1.6, and 1.4. If I choose to, for example, go to the menu, exposure step, to change to 1/2 exposure value, what I have is 1.4, 1.6, 2.0. Less options here, less accurate. So I choose to stick with 0.3. ISO. Yes, you can change it here, but I prefer to assign it to dial ring 3, which could also act as joystick. And if I press to the right side, If I press to the right side, when I'm not in the menu, I have my ISO. Fifth, yes, here we have some interesting menus. Metering mode, I prefer to leave it on spot. Okay. White balance, I assigned it to custom button 1, so I don't have to go through a menu to change it. Dynamic range optimizer, it's grayed out, as well as creative style and picture effect. Why? Because I've chosen picture profile. Picture profile, I prefer to shoot in picture profile 7, but slightly modified. I have sine 4 for gamma and S-gamut for color mode. You can have your picture profile customized. There are many of different videos and articles about it, and I strongly encourage you to go and check them and check out some links I provided for you, because I don't want to dig deep in these settings here. Go to another page. Nothing interesting here for filmmaking. 7s also. 8, steady shot. It's activating your IBIS, which stands for in-body image stabilization, and you can choose different steady shot settings, manual or focal length. Yes. Color space, I leave it as sRGB. sRGB. Okay, and page 9, the last one in the first menu. We have memory here, and it's interesting because once you have chosen all the options you want for you to film with, you can memorize them in slot 1 or 2 in your main dial, and all you have to do is to have your options checked and go to memory and choose 1 or 2. You have 4 and 1 and 4 slots on memory card, but I don't bother myself memorizing my settings to these slots. As you format your card, you will wipe off M1, M2, M3, and M4. So the only ones you can memorize your settings to is 1 and 2, and they will stay there. Zebra, page 1. I've already customized it to my function menu, which is launched by function button, so I leave it here off. Manual focus assist I choose to on, because it gives me a magnification, focus magnification time no limit. And marker display, marker settings. Yes, I choose to marker display, but why don't you see them here? Simply because I'm in manual mode, as you can see. If I turn my dial ring to, let's say, movie mode, here we are. I see my marker display on. So if I choose them off, press halfway shutter button, they disappear. Okay, I choose them on, and I can choose between various options here, like aspect ratio, center mark. I prefer only to choose an aspect ratio 2:3:5 to 1. It's more close to anamorphic format if I want to film. Okay, I have pressed the shutter button. Here are my markers. Let's go further. Audio level display. I've already assigned it to my function menus, so I can switch it on and off whenever I want. Nothing interesting here. Finder monitor on page 3. I turned it to manual. This camera have a sensor, so when your face is close, when your eye is close to electronic viewfinder, the camera switch off the LCD screen, and I find this extremely uncomfortable for me because I always block this sensor with my hands, and the camera constantly making switches between electronic viewfinder and LCD screen. So I leave it at manual, not auto, monitor manual. Okay, the fourth page as well as fifth of the second menu is not interesting for me. The sixth one, APS-C Super 35mm. So here you can switch to crop mode. So it's a shame that I can't assign it to one of the customizable buttons or put it in a slot on function menu. So whenever I want to switch to crop mode, I have to go to the second menu, page 6. Okay, and function menu set. I have 2 pages here. One is for upper row of function menu and another one for lower row. So I'll show you function menu, upper row and lower. And I prefer it to be set this way. In the first row I have audio recording level, so I can have an instant access to my audio recording level and change it as I want. Okay, function menu. Second one in the first row is zebra. I can have my zebras to be shown up here. I prefer to use 70 IRE zebra, but for now I switch it off. Okay, gamma display assist, which makes my life a lot easier with while shooting with S-Log. Steady shot, and here I have 3 slots for steady shot. I have steady shot on and adjustment for steady shot, focal length. So the second row I have my audio level display on and off if I don't want them to show. Picture profile if I want to change to another picture profile quickly. Okay, metering mode. If I'm not happy with my spot metering mode, I can change it whenever I want. And ISO and white balance in case I forgot to press my custom keys. Okay, And custom key settings. It's for your custom 1 through custom 4, and for your wheel and set button. So control wheel, I'm constantly touching it with my fingers while shooting, so I prefer control wheel not to do any functions for me. Custom button 1, it pops up white balance. Custom button 2, focus magnifier, I choose. Custom 3, this button, I switch it to record movie, to not stretch my fingers to the side of the camera to press movie button. And custom 4, finder monitor select. What it gives me if I press custom 4, which is also a trash can, I have my viewfinder ready to shoot, and if I press it again, I have my back LCD screen ready to shoot. Dial setup, it's for your rings. You have 3 dial rings here, and I prefer to leave it at default. So this ring on the back help me to change my shutter speed, which I rarely do. These rings does nothing to me while I'm shooting, as I said. And I change my iris with the ring that is close to shutter button. Go to the third menu. What I have here is airplane mode on. I find that it helps you to stay your camera active longer, and it's better for your battery life. Okay, go to application. I don't have any. And what is important here is this last menu. Okay, we finally got here a toolbox menu. I have my monitor brightness at manual, and annoying audio signals off, because when you have them on, you can have a signal on when you're focusing and when you start recording. Okay, so I prefer to leave them off, as I should. Going to the second page, you can enable tile menu, which I don't like, and power save start time. I leave it at 5 minutes. You can switch to different settings, but as the camera stays inactive for 5 minutes, it goes into power saving mode. Okay, here we are with our third page of Toolbox menu, which is NTSC PAL selector. And as I told you, it gives you the ability to shoot 120p instead of 100p in PAL mode. But you should be aware that you should format your card each time you switch to different mode. What is even more interesting, we have daytime, area setting, etc. And we have format. So to format your card, you have to go to Toolbox, page 5. I also have 2 slots of memory on my main dial ring, and I set the first one to record 4K in 24p, as you can see here, 24p. And if I half press shutter button, it says me 4K 24p. Okay, and I switch between displaying information on my LCD screen by pressing display button. Less information, histogram, my level, more information screen. Okay, and I set the second one on my dial ring to record slow motion to 60p in HD. As you can see, it's XAVC-S HD 60p. How do you set it? Often you go to your manual setting, set the menu you like it to be. For example, let's assign to the first slot to record XAVC HD on 24p. So I choose XAVC 4p and go to my page 9 and say memory and choose a slot, so the first one. Okay, and hit set button on my dial ring. So whenever I go to my first setting, yes, I have my HD instead of 4K. HD at 24p. So again, you set your menu as you want it to be on manual setting for dial ring, then memorize it, and when you get back to the first or second slot, you have what you assigned earlier. Before we wrap up, let me just say that these are my settings that I find myself comfortable with, and it doesn't mean you have to operate with these settings and enjoy them as much as I do. And as I shoot more, I might switch to anything else. As always, if you have any questions, leave your comments below. And I hope you find this video useful. Until next time, bye.